Our biggest gifts, one of the secrets of our success is the Berrett-Koehler Authors Cooperative, which is one of a kind in the world. We don't know of any other publishing company that has an authors cooperative associated with them. And it's an entirely separate organization. It has its own board of directors, its own legal structure, it's a nonprofit organization, but it's a tremendous blessing to our authors, blessing to Berrett-Koehler publishers. And so now we're privileged to hear from Maren Shokir, who's going to talk more about the Authors Cooperative.
Hello, I'm Maren Shokir, proud BK author, along with my co-authored husband, Jamie Shokir, who's also on the BK board. I'm delighted to be here today to talk to you a little bit about some of the work that the co-op has done around values. But first I want to give you a really quick overview. Steve mentioned that this is unique in the world. I didn't know in the world, but that's pretty cool. It was formed in 1998 by several authors who wanted to be connected to BK but had their own community of practice and support. And it grew and evolved over time. In 2005, it became an official authors cooperative. We operate with democratic principles, and at the same time, we want to make sure that as individuals, we're supporting each other and helping each other develop our full potential. We sponsor two big events a year. One has been mentioned this weekend, which will be the marketing workshop on Saturday and Sunday, organized by Beth Kay and Jennifer Kahnweiler, and we're looking forward to that. And then every year, we also have an annual retreat. And this year, we're hoping to see about 50 or 60 authors gather for learning, building relationships, and also having a lot of fun. And wine. Okay, so it was at the last retreat that the work around values sort of sprung out. We were doing what we do, which was a lot of churning over what kind of activities and projects the Authors Co-op wanted to pour its energies into. And Bill Treasure asked the question, well, what is the framework we use for sort of deciding what kinds of things we want to be involved in? How do we know what sort of speaks to who we are and what maybe doesn't fit with who we are? And out of that, a committee formed around creating values, a values statement. Now, I think that one had originally been created by the founding guys, whoever it was. I don't know who all it was, but it was kind of long, and we wanted to come up with something shorter and that quickly spoke to who we are and who we want to be as a community. So the committee formed. Bill Treasure and Chip Bell showed superlative leadership, and then we also had our board president, Leslie Yerkes, Sharon Jordan Evans, Sharif Abdullah, and I'm missing somebody. Oh, Catherine Armstrong. The first thing we did was send out surveys to all our memberships and ask them to describe who they thought the BK authors were and their connection to BK and what kind of characteristics represented who we wanted to be. We got a lot of good responses. We took those, we crunched the words thanks to Bill's staff, and drafted a statement in January, then sent it back out to the membership to say, did we get it right? Does this really look like who we are and who we want to be? And we got pretty good response. Yeah, that fits. So our next steps will be conversations around how do we breathe life into these values? How do we live them out? How do we work together to become who we want to be? And we'll be talking a lot about that, I'm sure, at the next retreat. You shall come. Now, we had lots and lots of different characteristics that were named. Here's the top vote getters. I won't go into all of them. You won't be surprised to see that world-changing was #1. But if you add up the numbers of some of the other high getters that are similar, like caring and compassionate, inclusive and collaborative, that made the numbers go higher. So our challenge was to try and take these very wonderful values and incorporate them into one distinct statement. This was the preamble that we came up with. One of the things that we felt really committed to was that even though we all have this thing in common, which is creating a world that works for all, And that's what brings us together. We also approach this mission in very unique, diverse, and special ways. And we want everyone in the community to feel comfortable being their authentic selves. So we try to include that in the preamble, which is there. And then we came up with 6 value statements. I'm not going to read them to you because you can all read, but I did want to highlight a couple of things. The third one on this page talks about curiosity, and we don't feel like you can really change the world unless you're willing to be open, you're willing to learn, you're willing to engage others and see their point of view. So that was one thing that we really wrestled with to get that right. And the last one that I'll talk about is in the middle. And we actually had quite a bit of conversation around the word love. You know, was that going to be too squishy, too woo-woo, too kumbaya? And, you know, in this room, and any time I've been in a room with BK authors, the love is palpable. And so there was really no way we could not include the word love. So that was some of the work that we've done on values. We're going to continue it. Thank you for listening, and I have loved being with you all.